What's up, everybody? Don't forget, drop where you are from. We'd love to know who's on tonight. Say howdy doody. We'd love to hear, and also just so you guys know, you're more than welcome to network through this. We'll give you guys a couple seconds to get on, and then we'll kind of tell you guys what we're doing and get this party going. We got Robert from San Francisco, Ian.
Hi, Robert.
Good.
Awesome. Elise and I are coming at you from Indiana.
Downtown.
Jerry, welcome. Andrew, hey. From Louisville. Connie, welcome. Oh, I love it. People are rolling in. Texas.
Hey, Connie.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Atlanta. All right. Wow. All over the place. Miami.
West Virginia. Loving it.
Love
okay,
it.
well, Hannah, how about as people come on, you want to do intros or should we do our question?
You know what? Let's give a little intro to the people who are hopping on now to who we are. And
Joshua Scott, my man, Ryan Wood, yes.
Awesome. So Elise, why don't you take it away, and then I'll introduce myself after you.
Okay, cool. All right, if y'all don't know who I am, I'm Elise. I'm one of the customer success managers here. I've been with DealMachine for coming on 2 years. And it's been a phenomenal ride. And my job has changed over the years, but it is always to help and support and get you guys to be successful with DealMachine and make your businesses just thrive. So I'm really excited about today.
And hey guys, I'm Hannah, Hannah Boggs. I actually am the marketing manager here at DealMachine. I've been here almost a year, which is crazy to think about, but I've loved getting to know a lot of our users and just helping you all know what we have to offer. So, and how we can help you grow your business and make you the most successful that you can be. So I've loved being a part of this family, and I can't wait to share more with you tonight.
Woo-hoo!
Woo! And on that note, we have a question for you all. All right, so how many deals do you want per month? Please tell us in the chat, and we will get to, wow. All right, well, I just have to say, yeah, I don't know if, oh, he said 2, okay. Yeah, Jay wants 200. I don't know if that's per year or per month, but way to go, man. That would be awesome. Ryan, 15. James, 2 to 3. Jamal, 2. Keon, at least 5. Love it.
You guys.
4 to 6. So
keep
many.
that up. Because guess what we're showing you today? We are showing you how to get these. Like literally, we're giving you tools to get these numbers and to show you what you need to do in DealMachine to make sure that you can reach these goals. But we want you, and we know you guys can reach these goals.
Yes. All right. So keep telling us if you're just getting here, chat, put in the chat how many deals you want per month, and we are gonna go for it. All right.
All right. So guys, what we're going to take you on today is something that I'm going to literally be onboarding you like I would an enterprise member of ours. And if you are an enterprise member, there may be things that you forgot during onboarding, things that may have changed since we first onboarded. This is going to be where we give you the tools to do this. And we are just, any questions you have, we will be answering. We're going to kind of do this in sections. So first thing first, and I wonder, and Hannah, if you're good to drop the link, I want you guys to download this profit planner, because this is what we're going to work on together.
I'm bringing it up.
All right, I'm pulling mine up. And if you're sitting down somewhere, get your pen and paper out. This is recorded and it's going to be posted tomorrow, but like, I want you guys to try to do this with me while we're going through this. So that way we can just be consistent and nothing gets missed. And then we can answer questions as we go along. So follow the link Hannah just posted, download the Profit Planner. It's free. It's a tool that we made. So let me pull up mine. All right. I'm going to zoom in here so that everyone can see it a little bit better.
Also, I just want to say, when you click the link to download it, oh no, it downloads directly. Okay, just making sure. Sometimes if you have the Google Doc link, you have to make a copy.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. All right, so this is what this should look like for you guys. And I can't see the chat anymore, so Hannah, you got
I got
this.
it.
So this is what we're looking at right now, and it is the KPI planning, goal setting. So that number that you guys just posted in the chat, I want you, the first thing to do, and tell us if we're going too fast, because we'll definitely slow down. I want you guys to be able to follow along with this, and so we can set this up for success. So first things first is put that number of deals that you want to have monthly right here in this box. And it says, edit this. How many deals do you want per month from your DealMachine efforts? I want you to type in that number. So let's say I want 3 a month. I will say, if you're just starting out and you haven't gotten your first deal, plan on just putting all your efforts into getting that deal. Okay, I would shoot for 1, no more than 2 a month, just so that you can get your business going and started and moving in the right direction. That's my personal just opinion from seeing people going through. We want to just create good habits and get those numbers in, and that's what's really going to make a big difference. So am I moving at a good pace, Han? Is everyone feeling okay?
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing is that you will have to fill out the form to get the to get this, but just fill out the form, and then the big blue text at the top of the thank you page will just click it and it will download for you. So if it didn't download for you, click that blue text and you should get it. And if it is not, then just chat in there and I will make sure to send it to you now.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're moving at a good pace here.
Yeah, keep going. We're good.
Okay. All right. So when you plug this number in, I'm going to show you right here. So all these numbers change and they configure. Now, if you are not on enterprise plan or professional plan and you don't have drivers, you don't have to worry about this, but I am going to talk to this a bit. If you're wondering about hiring drivers and you're wondering about the cost, I mean, number one thing is keeping your budget reasonable and keeping within your budget. So this is why we put in here, okay, qualified leads per month. If you want 3 deals a month, you need to get a minimum of 900 leads. And you're going to say, where did we get this info? We've taken from a bunch of success stories around the country, and we figured out that you probably have heard 200 minimum properties. Well, we upped it to 300 for this because as you hire drivers, you're going to have to vet through properties because you're not there qualifying them yourself because you're not adding them. So we add that buffer of about 100, and plus, like, more is not bad. More properties in your lead list is not a bad thing. So 3 times 300 is 900 properties. So I would even break that down by week then. And we're going to send you something else after this that we'll go over through this process to help you sort out how you're going to get those properties in every week. So as we go through this, this is when you can do number of hours driven each month, cost per drive time. So this is if you were to pay hourly $15. If right now the copy you have, you can, I believe, only edit these 2 boxes. Just go to file and create a copy or copy document, or what does it say? Make copy. You can make a copy and this will be editable. You can export this as well. And then this is for direct mails costs on an enterprise account. So then it puts into there your marketing costs. So if you have mailers going out, it's showing you, this is if you had 6 repeat mailers. Overall, this is what you're going to be spending. This is what you need to budget for. So then it breaks it down here, the technology fee, which on enterprise is $3,000. It puts your driver costs in there once you fill this out. It also shows your annual marketing costs, total deals, total cost per deal. And then it's going to show you all this. This is not, this is a target to hit. We don't guarantee that this is going to happen because a lot of you are in so many different markets. Some of you are in like LA, you're in New York. I mean, the market's really, really competitive. So these numbers may not apply like strictly to this part. If you know that you're in a competitive market, I would say up those numbers because you know you need to, and you need to just add more. As we go down here, this is going to give you a reasonable budget of month 1, month 2. You're probably not going to get a deal during that because this is just for marketing. This isn't cold calling them. This isn't anything else. This is just marketing to them. So you have to give the marketing time to get out and for people to get your marketing. So it's going to take probably until month 3. We're trying to make this very realistic. Now there are people like my man Ryan who did Maxwell's 30-day challenge and got it on day 17 of using DealMachine, which you'll see his success story. It's really amazing. He's amazing. His wife's amazing. But this is trying to be reasonable and to set your expectations. So you're seeing your budget is going up, but you're also seeing that your cost per deal is going down as you gain more deals. And once you start continually doing this and building your list, you are going to continually get leads. Ryan also said today, and you will talk to any guru, it is a numbers game. If you have been in sales, if you have been in anything like this where it's direct selling, you know that it is a numbers game through and through. And that means by leads put in, that means by follow-up, that means, it is a numbers game. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. So is there any questions right now over the budget planner?
Okay, you said something about 900 properties, and
Yes.
Steve asked 900 properties that look distressed, ?
Great question, Steve. So it is going off of distressed properties. Now, there are different ways you can be strategic about it, though. There are people who go after pretty houses. I go after ones that necessarily don't look distressed, but look very dated. They look like they're from like the 1960s and 70s. And they probably have a ramp or something like that. But yes, that is 900 qualified leads. Whatever that looks like to you, it's 900 qualified leads that go into there. It's not where you're just going up the street and adding every house on the block. Okay, you get 900 leads. If they've been sold under 3 years, there's probably a good chance that they're not going to sell it if they bought it this year. So like it's qualified leads that you add in. That's a great question.
Awesome. I also want to make a note that if the spreadsheet did not download for you for any reason, please drop your email and I will make sure to send that to you personally. So if that's the case, I know I've seen at least 2. Let me know.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? Before we move on to the next step, I want to make sure we're set up really solid with this before we go into the next part of moving forward.
Yeah. So, okay. One more question from Allison M. She said, number of repeated mailers monthly or annually?
Annually. 6 a month is too much. I would say you do 1, maybe 2 a month, but for budgeting purposes, it's totally fine to do 21 to 30 days. That's generally what we suggest. I've seen people who send it out in 2 weeks, and sometimes that works, and other times it's just a little bit too forceful. And also, I don't think it makes that much of a difference, especially if you're cold calling. But yeah, that's annually. This is all going to be an annual. This is all annual except for this part where they say cost per hour and driven each month. But these are annually. That's a great question. We need to change that and be a little more specific.
Yeah. A few other questions we're getting are about the type of properties that for this. And I just wanted to say that like it really depends on what kind of properties you are looking for, but I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of properties I don't know. Do you want to talk about this a little more? Because people are asking about like absentee properties or like what kind. And I know that's something that a lot of people are curious about, like how to qualify a lead for this list.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say that everyone's going to go out for absentee owners. That's like number one. Everyone knows that. That's a list that you can easily pull. The big thing about driving for dollars, though, is that you are going for ones that are more distressed. You are going for ones that they're more qualified. That's how I would just continue to say it, is they're more qualified leads to have them have a motivation to want to sell. But like my man Ryan told me today, I keep mentioning him, but like I just talked to him today, you don't know what situation somebody has. So you really have to think about what target do you want to go after? I know that Loopy G, I'm having him on Monday, but he's now going after pretty houses. So we're talking about that because I've not really heard that, to be quite honest. This is going after distressed properties, whether it's owner occupied, corporate owned. Corporate owned, I will make a point to say, if it was sold 5+ years ago and it looks like a POS, like then I would say market to them to see if they want to sell it. But you could also market to them as a potential buyer. And we'll go into that a little bit more too. If you guys are interested, I can show you my postcard for that. But definitely go after anything that looks distressed. I tell people when they're going driving for dollars, just add properties that look qualified. And when you get back, then you can kind of go through your filtering process of if they were sold recently and so on and so forth. But I wouldn't look at the ownership status because you just don't know. David has, I think now 10 properties in his portfolio, and the majority of those were owner occupied. So you just really don't know. I will say I've heard owner occupied is definitely a lot more difficult to handle because you have to get them out of the house and all the stuff, but a deal's a deal.
All right. I think that's it for right now. Oh, wait. One from James. Okay, so does the spreadsheet help your out-of-pocket budget or business funds?
I would say you should have designated like budget for your business. And this is for that. Not so much because you're out of pot. You should be making it to where you have a specific set of money set aside for, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And then I know a few people are asking, are we going to be showing DealMachine in this session? 110%. So we're going to get into that a little bit. This is just kind of teeing us up to some of the strategies that we're going to be talking about coming here soon.
We know that a lot of you already know this stuff, but we wanted to really give you guys a full VIP experience of this is what we do. You first have to define the goal. You first have to strategize. And then we get into the software, because if you get too overwhelmed and you don't have a goal, then you're just not going to know. So next thing we're going to talk about is I want everyone to drop down in the comments. How are you reaching out to sellers? I'm going to share two main ones, which is obviously marketing and cold calling. But I would love to hear what everyone does to reach out to sellers, because you can't get a deal without reaching out to them. And here's DealMachine. We're here.
All right. A lot of people are saying cold call and text, direct mail, Facebook, postcards, a lot of direct mail, cold calling, email. Excellent. Combination all over the board. I love it. All
right. Awesome. Okay. So mail marketing. You can do this even if you just have the free CRM. I had someone ask me this. This is available for anyone. If you're on the free CRM, if you're through Street Engine, if you're through List Engine, you can do mail marketing through DealMachine. So here in this drop down is where your mailers are going to be. So we have our templates, which I recommend making quite a few, which you can tell by my array of templates I have here. But go in here and make some that are different, make them that they're unique. We do have the feature now, so I'm going to just set one up really quick for you guys so you can see. So I can do a postcard or I can do a ballpoint letter. I personally love blocks or the full template. It just looks really clean. And then you can change any of the wording in here. You can also have any of these fill-ins that you can put in to make it a little bit more personal and autofill. You can definitely change these colors, which I highly recommend. It makes you stand out, because if there's another DealMachine user in your area and they don't change any of the presets, your postcard's going to look the exact same as theirs. And it's not going to make the seller really like see yours more. So then you pick your signature, which I'll work my way down into signatures and how to set those up. If you're on basic or professional, you do get one signature to go on. And if you're on enterprise, you get as many as you want. So here is, let's see, I can do that. Create new template. I'm making notes really quick as I'm going along. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, Cindy asked, are there postcard templates already in DealMachine? 100%. Can you change the postcards? This is from Jay, for reoccurring mail without going into each lead and changing them manually?
Absolutely. Yes. We will. Yes. Sorry, I don't mean to keep saying yes. So there's a couple of different things. If you don't have campaigns feature, which is a $20 add-on, I'm going to show you how to do campaigns for those of you who have it. And the difference here is campaigns feature. And if you do have campaigns, I'd highly recommend numbering them as what step is what. I have mine as 1, 2, 3. I have different ones for absentee buyers. This is my buyer's postcard for anyone who's interested. And it just says, is this your property? Do you want more like this? And basically just asking them to call me if they're interested, because these are the homes that I'm looking to, get. So with these, and again, you can make multiple templates for those as well if you don't have campaigns. But as we go into campaigns, what you do is you create a new one and you put steps in. So this is my absentee corporate properties in Indy. Step 1, I do my COVID template, which is just like letting them know that I'm very aware of what's going on and that I'm respectful of that, and if they need help. But then I can repeat this step, but since I have campaigns feature, I'm going to change it up. So then I add a step. And so after 30 days from this postcard, this one goes out. And then I create another one and I change it up again. And then after 30 days, this one goes out after this one. And so it makes me a sequential mail drip campaign with different templates. Now, you can send out repeat mail. I will show you how to do that. We're going up on it. I just want to make sure this is in order for everyone who's learning. But this is how you can set those up. And you can also, when I show how to do it for repeat mail, because you can send the same template again, it will be the same for campaigns. Now for signatures, this is where I really want to tell you, definitely upload a picture or a logo for your marketing. I mean, it doesn't cost anything extra. You're paying for this mail to go out. You might as well make it look as good as it is. Like, just make it look real good. Put your family picture on there. I've had people say that they've had buyer or sellers contact them because they felt more comfortable that it was like a family, or like calling someone, because they're in a very vulnerable state. They don't know what to do with their home for the most part. That's what happens. So, having a friendly face on there definitely will help. Any questions on these going forward? Because then I'll.
Yeah, if you set up a campaign, when it is done sending the postcards, are you notified that it ended?
You are not notified yet. We are setting up a whole thing where you guys will get notifications when a campaign has ended, but you can actually filter through to see what campaign is actually ended right now. So you would just have to manually do that, where it's just a filter, and then you can see all the properties that have stopped mailing.
And then Steve is asking a question that I think is more of a best practice question, but how many mailers per property?
So we say a minimum of 3, but I'll be honest, I hear just across the board 7 to 12 is the best. That doesn't mean that they're going to get all 7. You may get the deal off of the third one, who knows, but at least you have 7 to 12 times that you are not going to forget to follow up with them because you've already set it up. That's the biggest thing about campaigns, is that it is continuous and it's going to keep going no matter if you forget to follow up or not. Like, that's going to be consistent.
And then Anthony asked, can you schedule when your mailers go out?
Not yet. Like, you would have to press it on the day you want it to go out, like for that day to start. Now, after that, it'll go off on the 30th day or whatever day you end up setting up. But we do have it on our radar that is something that our members want. So I want you to know that we hear that, and it's in there.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll get to more exciting stuff too to come.
Oh my God, guys. Oh,
I know, we're getting there.
I know. We have a teaser. So all of you that are logged in, way to be, because you're not only investing in yourself right now, you're going to see a sneak peek that no one else has seen.
Yes. Oh, and also we have a few more questions coming in. Kevin asked, the app will send out a white postcard with black print, but I have the ability to create my own postcard design. Is that correct?
On what? On this?
So yeah. He's like, there's a black and white postcard, but he can design it himself. Yes. And then Michael asked, do you have a set number of days between each mailer?
I personally do 30 only because I'm a budgeting crazy. And so I really like having it on just the 30-day because I know that it's going to be once a month. I'm going to be spending X amount of money. And we actually came out with the calendar update, which I don't know if any of you saw on our YouTube channel. And I will show it here, but that is something that you'll be able to look at how much you're going to be spending with a certain campaign altogether.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So let's keep moving. I know we have a lot to go over.
I know. I'm going to try to hurry this, guys. Okay. So cold calling, you obviously can skip trace through DealMachine. You just go to leads, and I will go into like bulk editing and filtering and everything. But I want to say for cold calling, I have this, that's not it. This process calendar. It's really, really simple. I'm going to share it for you guys. I'm actually going to give it to Hannah because I can't see the chat right now. But let me just send this. This is something I came up with so that I could keep myself on track. It's just really, please don't judge me on it. It's very, very simple, but it keeps you accountable. So let me give this to Hannah really quick. Okay. Okay. So basically what this is I show on here like Monday, cold call. I'm cold calling. And then what I would do is put in here from like noon to 2, or put in a time slot there. And then I leave these here so that way I can hold myself accountable and be like, okay, I did call so many this time. Okay, approve leads on Mondays. That is what I'm going to do. And I etch out the amount of time. Properties added per day. If you have a goal of properties you need to add per week, I'd put it right here in this box. And I'd be like, okay, I need to have this many properties in here this week, and this is how many I got. What did I need to do differently? Do I need to change my schedule? I also have texting on here. There's a ton of stuff, but what I have to say about that, I see the biggest issue with cold calling is that you really just need the time, and you need to set aside the time to do it. So really think, what time am I going to fully commit to cold calling these leads and following up? That's just a huge, huge thing. So I just wanted to go over that.
Also, I wanted to shout out to Michael Deemer. He said, if you're not time blocking, you're losing already. And I will say I'm a huge fan of time blocking, and that will definitely help you a lot. So
thank you, my friend. Yes. Well, and I am very much not type A. I'm a chaotic organizing, and Hannah can attest to that. She's seen my desk sometimes. But this helped me to where I could just pull this up, just write down, hey, I need this. And if you guys could please just make a copy of this instead of writing just on here, because it's a shared document, that'd be great. But this is where I would definitely just hold yourself accountable and just try not to make excuses for it. That's the hardest thing. I do that with working out all the time. And I have to have an accountability partner to say, yo, did you do this? And then I feel like crap. Okay, so going on. So I want to go into, this is more towards the enterprise side of things. If you are thinking about driving, I have a couple of questions I need you to answer right now. So if you are writing it down, I need you to answer me, who's driving? And even if it's just you, like write down who's driving. I need you to know payment structure. How are you paying these people? And really have it set in stone. Don't say, well, maybe I'll do commission, maybe I'll do hourly. Sit down, figure out what payment structure you want to do. Trust me, it'll save you a ton of headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Then sit down and figure out and recruit. So you can do that a number of different ways. We do have a video all about how David did recruiting, so I don't want to go too in deep with it because it's very, there's so many different ways you can do it. You can post it on Indeed, you can do it on Facebook. But I want to tell you that for all of you enterprise members, you need to make sure that you have your landing page set up, okay? So what I did is I went into driving, I went to drivers. If you have Street Engine, if you have List Engine and the CRM, please hold on. I just need to go over this really quick. If you have Street Engine and you have enterprise, make sure this is turned on. Make your custom URL link. Go through here. You have to enable these training videos for your drivers to go through. And then share this link. Like I said, go through David's video. It's super informative, step by step. Like I literally asked him the nitty gritty of even just how to set up DocuSign, because I was like, I don't know. And I'm sure there are other people who don't know, and it's kind of intimidating. So I just want you guys to do this. Put in your welcome email. This goes out right after they sign up. Just make sure this whole portal is set up for success and just put it out there and just start recruiting. If you're on enterprise, you have 300 deal finder spots you could fill up. But I want to challenge you to at least get 1 or 2. And if you, I will tell you, so many people tell me they get like 30 people signed up and no one sticks. That's what happens. And you're not doing anything wrong, but people just don't stick. But try, I would say go for hourly over anything if you can put that in your budget. Commission, I was doing commission for my drivers. They have all fallen off. And it is because they don't get the instant gratification. Okay. Any questions on that?
There are. All right. So actually, Corey asked, him and his business partner are trying to decide the best way to compensate additional drivers. What's your opinion of the best way? And I know there's a few different ways, and not every single way is the best for everyone.
I would not say commission. Unless you have drivers that are entrepreneurial mindsets, they're not gonna stick. I would say, and this is different than what David would say, I just know what would motivate me. Hourly. I mean, right now, so many people are out of jobs that if you give them an hourly rate and say, I am going to pay you this. I drove with one of David's drivers as well. And I was like, yo, why do you keep driving? Like, why don't you just stop? Because I mean, he could, he's a college kid. And he was like, well, I was really nervous. I didn't know if it was legit, but then I got to talk to David and he gave me a contract thing for like a year of working, but obviously it could be terminated either way or whatever. But it was a sense of security for him that he has like a real job. And it didn't bother him. He got paid through Venmo, but I would say hourly is the way to go. And I would say 15 is a real hot spot that I've heard. And also doing incentivizing. Like if you need them to get 300 properties in, give them at like $200 to $25 gift card. Or like, and David would say probably no to that that's just difference of opinion. I think that I would be incentivized if I got 200 properties in, because it takes a while. Like if you're not driving a lot. So this will be something to get the drivers. And I know a lot of people also give cuts of the deal. If a deal closes, then they say, you know, I think Dallas from Dallas gives, I think $500 to his driver once a deal closes. It's just a flat rate, but it's something for them to look forward to and to really like boost their spirits. Also, Tim Ruizo, he did a really good job of just like showing his other drivers that there were drivers making deals, closing deals, giving him deals, and then he would show the check that he wrote for them. And all other drivers would be like, I want this.
Yeah. Also, I will bring up a good point. Jerry just asked, if you pay per lead, he'd worry about drivers just tagging homes that aren't distressed. And to that, I would say, Jerry, that you have to be specific about what properties you're actually going to be paying them for. If they don't fall under your criteria, then you don't want to pay them for that. So I would say that's a good caveat to make with that, so that you are not paying for leads that you don't want.
Yeah. Also, make sure you put in there pay per approved lead. Yes. And tell them they have to tag by like, pick 2 tags, whether that's like overgrown grass or broken window or something, and say if you don't tag these 2 things, then it's not approved.
Yeah. And also Steve said, sorry, do you have a recruiting website we use to get drivers? And to that, Steve, we say yes, but it's on Enterprise Street Engine. So if you don't have Enterprise Street Engine, that's probably why you don't see it. But if you do, let us know and we can help you see how to set it up. Elise went through it, but we would love to help you out with that.
So you literally can just, we've made it so easy to where you can literally write, like I said, you can collect drivers from this custom page. Oh, Josh is going to start talking here in a minute.
Nice.
Okay. So then you can input a video here. This is literally, you put whatever you want here. They put first, last, city, all that good stuff. Get started. You get notified that this person signed up with your team, and then they start going through the training portal that you have enabled. It's magic.
Yes,
Takes
with
so much time. And this looks legit, right? Like, that's my thing, is it's like, when you say follow this link or something like that, or have them put an application and tell them to follow the link, this looks legit to me, instead of like, sign up now and get money. Woo. That's
yeah. And I will, I believe you already talked about them, but the pre-recorded videos that you can choose what they're talking about, the distress level, all the things, it's awesome. I love the recruiting portal.
You can input your own training videos in here. If you don't like ours, that's totally fine. You can just go ahead and put your YouTube link here and it'll pop up in the training portal for them.
Yes. Also, Elise, I wanted you to answer this question. So it's from David. And he said, what metrics do you use to make sure the drivers are actually productive for you and worth the money? So metrics.
Metrics. One, so I think David tells his driver they need to get at least 12 properties an hour, like an average of 12 properties an hour. So what he does, and I posted approved properties. So what David does, and there's also a video of this on our YouTube. I hate to keep referencing it, but I know we have limited time. So just so you guys know, this is all on YouTube, some way, shape, or form. But David has a meeting with them. He has them tell him how many properties they added and how long they drove. And what he does then is cross-references it here, because he can filter out by that person and then by the filter of the date added, so that he can just go from that week and see how many miles they drove. He can see how many minutes they drove. And then in the dashboard, there's also analytics. So I say like 15 properties an hour, unless you're in a really rural community or something like that where there's not a lot. I'd say 15 properties an hour is pretty reasonable. I may be just hardcore, but 15 to 20, I feel like I could get 20 23. But again, I'm in a metropolitan area. It's a little bit easier than if I'm out in a rural area.
Yes, and some people are asking in the chat about if you have to pay them minimum wage and if you have to follow the labor laws. Again, like check with yours, but then Marcus said your drivers should be contractors. And do you have anything else to add to that?
Again, I would just reference David's recruiting video because he shows there is a driver contract. If you want to drop it in there, Hannah, you can.
Yep.
It's DealMachine.com driver-contract. And get it checked out by a lawyer, because I know that like California, there's a whole bunch of different labor laws than there are in Indiana. And yes, you do have to comply. We're not lawyers, we're not giving legal advice, but we are trying to give you the kind of the bones for it. That's a really good question. Who's having fun? I know this is so serious. It's like, but this is, I want you guys to just be set up for success.
And also, I just want to say thank you all. Like, you guys are lighting up this chat over here, and I'm doing my best. I'm like, yeah, so usually it's Elise and I on the chat. So I just love it so much. And if we don't answer your question, please let me know. I have a lot of people to email after this, and I can't wait. I love it. I absolutely love this. So yeah. Also, thank you, Sherry. That was really sweet. She said we're doing a phenomenal job. We love having you all.
Thank you. Yeah, Hannah, if you want to bring someone on who has any recruiting questions, we can, or whenever you feel like you want to.
All right, I'll bring them on in just a minute. Why don't you?
You take your time, girl. You got the chats going crazy.
Okay.
So you take your time. I'm going to move on to what I think it was Steve. I don't remember who asked, but I'm going to show you how to filter and bulk edit, which is not going one by one and putting mail in repeat order. So we're in our leads list. A couple of things here. Once it loads, I have so many leads in here from testing out List Engine and everything. It takes it a minute. Okay. So I have different lists, but I have different, so I'm just going to go through this one by one of like where everything is. So if you don't know what statuses are, you can change the statuses here. So this is pending approval, which means that I have not sent out mail yet for it. We have with marketing, which will start mail for you. I would say this is not the way I would go about starting mail, is by manually going one by one, putting it with mail, with marketing. Marketing completed. So again, I was talking, someone was asking about when it's done, how would you know? You can filter by marketing complete and it'll show that. Appointment set, definitely do this because you don't want to forget it. And you also want to see your metrics. You guys need to, you're going to want to track your analytics, which we'll get to, but this is how you're going to track it, is by updating these statuses. And then offer sent, offer accepted, follow up, one deal, which if you win a deal, you get the won a deal badge and it glitter falls from the sky. So that's magical. Lost deal, not interested, unqualified, unresponsive, return to sender, which if you have our mail tracking add-on, once it's scanned as return to sender, it will ping us and it will turn it to return to sender. And then of course there's in trash. So that is the lead statuses. Then you have your lists and tags, which I will go through, but let's go through filtering. So when we filter leads, which, okay, also I don't need to keep going back and forth, but I had a question. If you are a CRM user and you have a list, this is where you would import the list. You just click that button, map it out. Potato, potato. I don't know why I said potato, potato, but you know what I mean. Okay, so filter leads. So there are a couple of ways to do this. I highly recommend making presets, which a preset is, I would go through and mark all the criteria for a qualified property. So I have absentee NDPA, which is pending approval, which means that I filter it by, I press that and it automatically filters the list by pending approval, absentee owned, sold over 3 years ago, I think that's all I have actually for that. It's a very simple thing because I just want to get those qualified leads in. So you can do, by creating a preset, you can go over here to, let's say I want corporate, no, you know what? I want out-of-state absentee owner. I just want to see how many I have. So then I apply filter. And again, I have a lot of leads, so this may take some time. I apologize. But you can filter this through. So what I would say for who wants to send mail out and you don't want to do it one by one, I would filter it by pending approval. And then what other criteria you may have to just make sure that you're getting the properties that you want. Oh, this is going to take a minute. Oh, there we go.
Oh, great.
Okay, and so then what I'm going to do a bulk edit of this, I can bulk edit. I can do a lot of bulk. So press this, it'll choose the first 25 selected on that page, but then you need to just go to select all 652, which is on this list. I have 652 out-of-state absentee owners. I really need to get in contact with these guys. So then I can go to change status. I could just start mailers if I have a default that I know is fine to go with that, and your default's found in your settings. I can add it to a list. I can skip trace them, which just goes into cold calling. So you can just pull up all the leads you got this last week, and you can just go ahead and skip trace them all. But for mailing, go to the more mailing options, select a template, and then this is where you can change the repeat mail and how many times it's going to send. And then you can save those mailing options and it'll update for that entire list that you chose. And then what I would do is I would get a process of how you want to organize your leads. Mine are mainly organized by tags for follow-up. I already know that. And lists for my virtual driving for dollars. And then also I've started adding them to a list of like when I started mail. But now that we have the calendar feature, it's really easy you don't have to do that. But this is, any questions about filtering and bulk editing?
You actually answered Mike's question, which was how do I move all my leads from mailing to them every 21 days to every 30 days? And you just showed how to change that. Jason asked, not so much on bulk, but is the CRM something different or is it built in? Can you talk to that?
Yes, it is built in. So the CRM is now our foundation. If you watch any of the videos, I compared it to a car. So the CRM is our frame of the car. And now what was DealMachine OG is just an engine in that car that you can add on. If you don't need it and you want a different engine, you can put a different engine in. But maybe you want both. So you put the street engine in, you put the list engine in, or you just put list engine in and not street engine. So the CRM is the base now, the foundation, if you will, to our DealMachine organization. So it's the CRM, and then it's like, yeah, that doesn't work for a house because it's like, no, I do want both walls, not one. But I hope that helps.
Also, Cindy asked if you want to send mailers 12 times, are you charged for 12 up front or as the mailers go out?
No, as the mailers go out. That is a great question. So you are charged, when you hit send mailers, you are charged for just that bulk first round. And then that's what the calendar is good for, is that you can see when that next repeat is going to happen and how much you're going to get charged for it. But let's say off of that first postcard, you get a call from a seller who's like super pumped. You pause mailers. We don't charge it all up front because we don't want to like take your money when you may not even send all the postcards. So no worries. We're just charging as the mail goes out, not all in one bulk swing.
Correct. Okay, so Allison, just for clarification, was asking, are you saying that the list is one thing and then the map is an add-on? So can you explain the engines and how they work all together or separately?
Yes, which that's great because I kind of went into almost everything. Also, you can export leads from this. This was another thing I wanted to make sure I could show. So if you have another system you need to export these leads to, you can export, you can set up Zapier's, which I have a video on that as well. But yeah, so the different engines, the CRM is free. The CRM is this is to organize your leads and to help you stay on top of that, to send out mail if you want to upload lists if you want to. The street engine is another add to that. So that's a whole set of other pricing that Hannah can drop the pricing in there for you for the different engines. It kind of breaks it up a little bit more. But this is where you're driving for dollars. This list is driving for dollars, and that's how you're adding these. Then we have List Engine, which is a list builder. But even if you don't have List Engine, I want all the DealMachine members to know any list you make will be in here. So any bulk import you do, I did one here. Any of these are just driving for dollars leads, but I turned them into a list. Those are in here as well as the ones that you build, which the exciting news we have kind of goes into List Engine as well. But this is for you to literally build a list, so you can type in zip code, city, you can draw over a certain area. I'll just do, and then you can do it by vacant, owners of multiple properties, pre-foreclosures, bank-owned, absentee. Again, you can do your presets, or you can do a custom list. And then what's really cool with this, guys, is that we have Smart List, which what's awesome about that is that our data is updated weekly. So anything that does not match the filters you have for this list gets booted out of this list. So that way you don't have to keep going through it and being like, well, this is out of date, this is out of date. Everything is going to be automatically up to date for you.
Yes.
What else you got for me?
Reading as fast as I can.
I'm going to touch on one thing before we move on from the CRM and the leads list.
And I also have someone to bring on. So once we're ready for that, I'm ready.
Sure, bring them on. I just wanted to go over this really quick. When I say that you approve leads weekly, that's when I'm saying, like, sit down and make processes with this of, like, you just hit your preset and then you approve the mail, and then you hit the other preset and you approve the mail. Like, it's the process of getting into that rhythm of knowing on every Monday, this is what you're going to do. And this is how you're going to tag things. So write it out, use, different like mapping softwares, or I put it on a whiteboard. So that's why I'm saying, like, on even that spreadsheet, you can say, this is what I need to do when I'm approving leads, and, like, check it off. Hi, Michael. It's a beautiful background. Hello. Oh, I cannot hear you. I don't know. It says you're unmuted, though.
Yeah.
Are you on a computer? Yes or no? Yeah. See, go to the little mic at the bottom and see if it's connected to the mic you want. The little arrow thing. Mine does that all the time. No. No.
Well, oh no.
Okay. No, well, it's okay. What's Michael's question, Hannah?
Yeah, so Michael actually had a few questions, but his latest question was, where do the mailers go out? Do you have multiple locations around the country, or just one location that will affect response rates?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have two main mail houses. They do have multiple locations around the country. And we don't have any control over kind of where they're printed out. But we do, at least I tend to see mine that come out and they tend to, like, hit around the same time. Mine's about 5 to 7 days. But we do have multiple mail houses. I know one is, like, in here, the Midwest. One's more like Northwest, I think. But I think there's just so many, I don't know. But I'm sorry, I don't have a very good answer for that one. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for joining us, Michael.
We'll
Sorry it didn't work out.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm, like, sweating because I'm on the spot.
Oh, you're good. All right, so why don't you keep us going to the next thing?
All right, cool. All right, so I kind of did list engine. Returned mail process. Again, I'm going to reference Ryan because I just talked to him today. But get those return mailers. Get those oh my gosh, I can't talk. Get those returned mailers and skip trace them and call them. Or find something else. Find them on Facebook. Don't just throw them away, because if your mail's not getting to them, no one else's mail is getting to them either. And they're probably just throwing it away because they don't want to take the time to reach out to like dig and find the information. So that was something I wanted to touch on. And you can do that again through here. You can do skip tracing through the app. There's phone numbers right here that I could easily just skip trace. If you last webinar with Brent Daniels, I skip traced a corporate owner in my area and called him. So that was a thing, and it worked. It was the right number. I think I'm honestly like, we went over list engine, team. This is where your CRM team is. I guess I will go over this really quick. You have different partners and teams and stuff, and I would just go over their permissions and their access. So what access I mean is, so James has access to my street engine and my CRM, but he does not have access to my list engine. So you go through there and make sure that your team members have the access that you want them to have. Admins can do pretty much anything. Actually, anything that you can do, admins can do. If you have partners, those you can actually go into and give them kind of edited ways to do this. So like, he can't edit, create my templates, anything like that, but he can go ahead and see other properties and everything. So they're just limited. Oh, people are dropping off. That makes me sad, because like, they're going to miss out on this.
I know. Okay, so Corey asked, how do you decide which leads to cold call versus just mailing, in your opinion?
That's a tough question, because it's like, I guess the ones you feel the best about, like the ones that like are 10 plus years sold, they're just really distressed. They seem like too good to be true that they're still sitting there. I feel like those would be the ones I would cold call. I would just make sure that I can follow up with them. That's my fear with cold calling, and why I personally don't do it is because I know I do not have the time to sit down and dial and follow up week after week. I just know I don't have the capacity to do that. So that's my biggest thing with figuring that out is, Ryan cold calls the leads that get returned mail, and those are the leads that he calls. So, you could do it like that. Ryan's closed 52 deals with DealMachine this year. Boom.
Also, Jay asked a question and he made sure that we saw it. He asked, with all the features, excuse me, with all the features that DealMachine offers, what is the max monthly amount if I signed up for all the features? So Jay, I hear you and I saw your question and I just did the math. And if you got every single feature at the enterprise level,
and
what?
And every add-on?
And the add-on, the campaign, street pick, and mail tracking. Am I missing any? It would be $4,540. So that's with all the features, which again, if you're bringing in those deals, that's
change.
Yeah. So, and that's for a year. Yes.
Yeah, that's for a year.
Well, okay, shoot. I didn't do the $20 per month for that.
Okay.
Let me do more now, but very close.
But it's like, from a deal, you can track your ROI, which I didn't show that either. But in dashboards, you can track your ROI in here. How many leads you've added? What is your return on investment? Mailer sent, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, while we're here, let's talk about this. Over here in success steps, and if you're on mobile, it's going to be that little bell. You have your activity tracker, which shows you who you skip traced. Oh, hey, I didn't know James added a house. Nice. So he added a house. I can see that, and I can go into that lead. And then the new thing is the calendar feature, which was requested by one of our members last year, and we got it up. So this is, you can actually track your mail. Let me get to one. I haven't sent out mail in a while because I haven't had the capacity to do it. But I can click on this. I can see I had 9 mailers sent out. I can see which ones those were. I can see where they were, when they got delivered, all the good things. And I can see the select a range. I can go from one date to the next. I can select a date. I can view the current month. I can do all the things. So there, mailer scheduled. I had 135 go out.
I love the calendar.
The calendar makes it so much easier to budget and to just track everything. And you know exactly what, like you can tell this is the first round. This is my second round that's going out. Oh, and I got some other ones. Wow. See, I didn't even, and look, I had a handwritten letter in there. I just had a smorgasbord of things that went out. Okay. I'm about ready to pull up the sneak peek.
Oh my gosh. Who is ready for a sneak peek of something really awesome coming out?
Like, I'm so impressed. Omar, this is recorded, but I'm cutting out this last part so y'all can't see that. So no one, if you guys who all were on here saw that demo, it's going to be cut out and now we're just talking about it, but.
Yep. Yes. So Ben, we just wanted to bring you on to say thank you for building this out. So many people cannot wait.
And being on in our DealMachine fam. We love you. Hopefully one day we'll actually meet in person.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it. It's very fun. So.
Awesome.
Michael, yes, we're out of Indy. Oh yeah, Michael. Oh, Michael. Well, see, even though we didn't hear you on here, we can hear you another time someday. You should, except we're not really there much anymore. But definitely would love to have a social distancing gathering.
Yes.
Omar, tell me about your challenges with the skip tracing. I can't say I'll have a lot of answers for it, but I want you to know that you're being heard. Phone numbers aren't correct when skip tracing. Totally get it. It's frustrating. And I will say that I don't know like the specific place we're getting our information. So the only thing I can suggest to be kind of active about it and to, is to mark them as bad numbers in there. You can mark them as bad. And let our support know, just because we do care about that. If you have a lot of numbers coming back, like we want to be able to know about that and find them and look into it. I'm trying to.
Elise, what's the best way to keep your leads organized? Did we talk about tags and lists and okay.
So this is, I kind of went into it, but I should have gone into it more. I'm so sorry. Let me make sure I'm actually screen sharing, because that would be bad if I didn't do that again. Okay, can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so for organizing, there are 2 ways I would do it. I would set up lists, presets, and then for follow-up purposes, I would do tags. But I know that I don't know if it's Josh, our VP, somebody else prefers tags over lists. Or no, he likes lists over tags, and I like to do tags on some things. So how I would say to organize it is like, have a list of like your, absentee owned, just make it into a routine, like I said, about clicking the preset or the preset filter. Set up those. You want to set up your presets. And then go in here, and then every Monday morning, you can just go done, apply, approve, and then you can, while they're still like all selected, you can also add them to a list. That's like approved batch. It's all different to how you want to set up your systems. We've made it so that it's extremely customizable. So I would say set out like what kind of list you want to organize into. That would make sense for your business, because I know a lot of you are in different markets as well, so you'll need different lists for those. Also, if you do virtual driving for dollars, really recommend making a list for virtual driving for dollars. So when you're done, add all those leads in to the virtual driving for dollars list. Okay, what else?
Exporting leads. Can we export leads?
Yes, so you can select all after you filter whatever you need to do, you can select, and then you can go to more, and right here it says export leads, and it'll go into
CSV.
thank you.
You're welcome. No worries. Chris also asked, would you explain how to map when, importing a list?
Yes. Okay, so import, let me see. The only thing is I don't know where my last map is. Or my last list. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's one. Can you see all of this okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So for here, what DealMachine needs is it at least needs the full address, which means that it needs the street, number, name, street address, your city, your state, and zip. It needs that to be able to import it. Now you can import phone numbers and emails now. So how you would do that is, okay, so I see this property ID, I don't need that. Property address full, that'll get me everything. So what I can do is click that. Can you see my drop down?
Yep.
Okay. And then I would just do full address. And then it's going to skip all of these because that's all that I needed. But what I can do is go down here and it'll say, where is it? Oh, where'd it go? Email addresses. I can unskip this and I can map this as email addresses. And then where's my phone numbers? Phone numbers, I can unskip this and map this as phone numbers. And then I can add properties and look up owner info. I'm glad I had a list.
Oh, sorry. Perfect. Also, we had a question. Can you talk a little bit about skip tracing corporate owners? I have seen that skip tracers don't really do those.
Oh,
do we?
Yeah, we do. It is a little bit more expensive. So if you're on professional or basic, it's going to be 34 cents a skip trace. But like I said, I skip traced a corporate owned property. And I also heard one of our members I also had a call with, he mainly skip traces corporate owned properties through us. And he says those numbers come back because they're such a distinct entity. Those numbers come back more correct. Like they can find them easier because they're corporate.
Yeah. All right. That is it. Any last questions for Elise and I?
Also, again, yes, like Hannah said, thank you so much all for coming on here. We know this was kind of long, but we wanted to make sure this gave a lot of value to you guys, and really just follow these steps, and the steps that are in DealMachine that are success steps, follow them. And yeah, I'm just so excited this is fun to get together every other Thursday and get to talk to you guys and catch up and I don't know, and have my wonderful Hannah with me. We do miss David though.
We do, but we can't wait to have him back in 2 weeks. And our next webinar, we're going to have Zach Booth, who is a rock star, like so awesome. So you're not going to want to miss that. Watch your dashboards because that's going to be coming out here soon. So you can sign up for that through the dashboard. And then always there will be emails and marketing and all the things. So don't worry. And if you ever have issues that you're coming across, don't forget to reach out to the support team. You can chat us through the app. You can chat us through support@dealmachine.com. Anything. We want to help you and we want to make you the most successful that you can be. And if something's not working correctly, we want to fix it for you. So let us know and we will do that. Also, hold up. We're getting more questions. Oh, the process calendar. All right, let me get that link for you one more time. And
to tell you guys, Monday, I'm having, like I said, Loopy G on live at 2 p.m. Those are recorded as well. And he's going to go over how he's wholesaling pretty houses, which I'm very interested in seeing. Thank you, Michael. That means a lot. We wanted to make sure this was good. Joshua, thank you. Josh is another DealMachine new hire that we're so happy to have on the team.
yes, we have a lot of new faces on the DealMachine team, so we can't wait to introduce you to them through our weekly news.
Sorry, you teed me up. You teed me up so well, and I just like kerplopped. We're bringing back the DealMachine weekly news on IGTV. It also is going to be on the Facebook page, where we go through just the brief highlights of what's happening at DealMachine and what to look out for coming up. So really excited. Mm-hmm. Carlos, we've been using DealMachine. I've been using it since I started 2 years ago. And
I have been using it for almost a year. So a year in November.
It's so crazy because I look at it and I'm like, okay, whoever remembers actually like tapping the property and not seeing the owner information until you added it to the list, or the route tracking we did not have when I started.
Yeah, we're adding so many helpful parts to the app that are gonna, I don't know, they've taken it to a whole nother level. Also, Kyrie said with a $99 subscription, our leads closed more versus the $40 subscription. I guess.
No.
Okay.
It's all the effort you put in. You put in the way we set up the plans is that when you're starting out, the basic is to get you your first couple of deals, and then as you grow, the plans grow with you. So that way you're not overwhelmed by things and you can kind of keep adding on to your business. So definitely can get deals on the basic plan. It's just follow up and numbers.
Yes. And Sandra, Sandra, you can find all these webinars on our YouTube channel, along with some other awesome videos that Elise does to help out our users and make you the most successful that you can be. So check that out. It's youtube.com/DealMachine. And Michael, here, Elise, do you want to answer that question? Are you active investors, flippers?
Yes. So I was actively trying to wholesale at one point, but to be completely honest, DealMachine kind of grew so astronomically, I could not keep up with trying to go to appointments. I did get plenty of calls off of my postcards, but Michael, since you're in the Indy area, they were all in like Fountain Square area where they wanted so much for their properties that I did not get one under contract. So I'm going to actively get back into wholesaling, but I'm going to have a partner that does all of the admin side of things because I do not have time. Hannah?
Awesome. I am not. No, honestly, I haven't been in Indy for that long, almost a year now. And I just wanted to really focus on my job first and foremost, but I do want to get into it. So this next year 2 is my year. So Michael, we will definitely connect, and I think that would be great.
Omar
for 2020. Yes.
Yeah. So our list engine is a list, like it's a list builder, and lead stacker. Basically, you can't make duplicate leads in DealMachine. They're all in your master list. There will not be duplicate leads. We like stack them to where you won't duplicate things and you can take them out.
Yes.
Sherry, good. I'm glad. And Matt Furch. Oh, so good to see you on here, friend. Oh, I'm so glad.
I know. All right. Any other questions? I think we covered basically everything.
I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday and a safe weekend.
Yes. And again, thank you so much for joining. We loved being here with all of you and sharing this time with you. And like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us through our through the app in the support bubble. Just chat us. And then also you can email us support@dealmachine.com. And please connect with us online because we're sharing all sorts of great information, great content, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, even LinkedIn, which I didn't put on here, but just search DealMachine and we're on there as well. So we hope that you connect with us, and we cannot wait to see what you all do. And we hope to have you on these webinars as well. So let's get those deals and let us know how we can support you in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you get your first deal, you get to sign up and I get to do a success call with you. And I cannot wait to meet y'all in like on here and hear your stories. Also, I'm going to do my own plug here. You can follow me on Instagram as happy_wholesaler. I also do I try to do some DealMachine things on there. But thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.
Bye, guys.